are over 50,000 MSME units like this one in Tamil Nadu's Coimbatore, and the industry's department estimates that together, these units consume nearly 1,800 tons of the metal every year to make a range of products, from wires to coils to tubes to plates. Almost half the output caters to motor and compressor manufacturers, who in turn supply parts for automobiles, air conditioners, washing machines, microwaves, refrigerators, and a lot more. But copper prices have risen pretty sharply in the last few months. On the MCX, copper prices have surged from 540 rupees per kg in November 2020 to a high of 722 rupees per kilogram in February 2021. This spike has hit margins for these small units pretty hard.
Earlier, if we take for a small motor, out of the total cost of the motor, this copper content will be somewhere around less than 20%. Now, because of this price rise, copper alone cost, that copper content in a small motor, it is 33%. You can imagine. So, 1/3 of the motor cost is now lies in the copper.
For an industry that was already struggling to get back on its feet after being knocked down by the lockdown and poor economic climate of 2020, the situation is dire. Many units say they have had to redirect a large percentage of the capital they secured through COVID-19 loans towards procuring copper at high prices.
The government gave some 20% funds as a COVID loan. All our loans are now, because of this raw material price, it has gone to that to meet this price rise. Actually, we were planning to use those amount in some development activities or some other expansion activities. But unfortunately, all these funds are given as COVID loan. It has been wiped out.
Many say that the situation may not have been so difficult if this plant, Vedanta's Sterlite copper smelter in Tuticorin, had not been shut down 3 years ago due to widespread agitation over allegations of pollution. The closure of Tamil Nadu's primary copper smelter has meant that India has turned a net importer of copper for the first time in 18 years.
Earlier, when Sterlite used to be there, it was kind of stabilized prices. Domestic production, it is very hugely hit, and many of us are exporting also, and it has copper shortage and the volatility of pricing has affected the industry to a larger extent.
The problem is that the costing for many of the orders that these units are trying to fulfill were worked out keeping prevailing copper prices in mind, and the sharp spike in copper prices has blindsided many. Manufacturers say they have two options now: either wait for prices to fall and convince clients to settle for delayed orders, or rework job cards and rewrite estimates based on present-day copper pricing. However, given the COVID-19 slowdown, both options come with their share of difficulties. In Chennai, this is Jude Sannith.